Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. All right, so from reports that I am seeing, food production continues to decline. And this is really not looking good. I've got several things we already know about Ukraine and Russia. Russia actually has an increased food production, grain production this year, but it's highly questionable whether any of that is being allowed to lead the country right now. Where it does get to lead the country, it has to go through other avenues, and whether it's going to get where it is actually needed is another question. But let's go to this. All right, got a few things here. All right, Spain's olive oil producers devastated by worst ever drought. Now, I think this is focusing largely on olive oil because it's one of the highest dollar agricultural products that Spain produces. But they also produce grapes and other things. So but worst ever drought. It says that they've lost at least 1/3 of their production. Down by 1/3 already, and there's still no sign of rain, and this is from August 29th. All right, so let's move on. All right, this is Italy. Losses reach up to 80% of crops due to climate change. The Italian Agricultural Union said that crop losses are up to 80% due to climate change from rising temperatures and then severe storms that hit several regions across the country. So that is from August 12th of this year. There's not going to be a lot of chance to recover much of that, even with rains. It takes time for crops to grow before winter. All right, global rice supplies at risk as harsh weather hits top exporters. And adverse weather across top rice suppliers in Asia, including the biggest exporter in India, is threatening to reduce the output of the world's most important food staple and stoke inflation that is already near record highs. Patchy rains in India's grain belt, a heat wave in China, floods in Bangladesh, and quality downgrades in Vietnam could curb yields in 4 of the world's top 5 rice producers, farmers, traders, and analysts told Reuters. Now, they did say somewhere in here that it could continue this way if conditions don't improve in the next few weeks. Now, this is from August 5th. So, last month, 5 weeks ago, conditions could have changed in some of those areas, but you know that it didn't change in all of those areas. All right, this one is a bit more arbitrary in a lot of the wording. All right, so the USDA increased its new crop corn production forecast increase by 45 million bushels The move was tied to the USDA's most recent acreage report that showed farmers planted 89.9 million acres of corn this year, up slightly from 89.4 million penciled in the March report. The USDA didn't touch the national average corn yield estimate of 177 bushels per acre. The agency raised beginning stocks by 25 million bushels due to reduced feed and residual use, and ending stocks were also increased by 70 million bushels. So that means that they changed the kind of corn that they're growing. They moved away from feedstock and residual use. I'm not sure what residual use is, but probably like ethanol, and moved it toward food production. All right, the July WASDE report indicates soybean production will fall 135 million bushels this year to 4.5 billion bushels. Yeah, so, yeah, soybeans are a major food crop. Cotton prices have been in free fall this past month, with economists saying the fundamentals still haven't changed, as U.S. farmers could see a dramatic drop in harvested acres due to drought. What's the date on this one? I forgot what the date on this. Oh, July 12th. Here's USDA's forecast for 2022-23 cotton crop shows higher planted acres, but abandonment is now forecast to be the third highest on record at 31.5%. So about a third of cotton crops have been reduced. Cottonseed hulls are a feed source for dairy cows. With such high abandonment, along with drought impacting silage in areas of Texas and the western U.S., there's also concern about what it will mean for feed availability on U.S. dairies. Less milk means less cheese, etc. World wheat production was decreased for the EU, Ukraine, and Argentina, but increased in Canada and Russia. A reduction in feed and residual use in the EU and Ukraine also impacted world consumption of wheat. USDA lowered its wheat consumption forecast 1.8 million tons to 784.2 million. Here's what I'm noticing about this. They don't mention India at all. All right. Sorry. But in total, USDA now forecasts a 2 million ton decrease in the EU crop, mainly due to drought impacting the crop in Spain, Italy, and Germany. Germany has seen a 50% decrease in crops this year. So, yeah, and they don't mention, like I said, they don't mention India at all. India has completely suspended wheat export. And why would you not mention India? India is the second largest, has the second largest population, second only to China. Part of what they talk about is that is not much of an actual decrease for what they're talking about. They talk about decreased wheat consumption, but that's not much of a drop that they're talking about. With all these other crops declining, that are major food staples for the global population. Rice, corn is up barely. I didn't see anything for sorghum, but that's a big one too. Soybeans are down. Yeah, so you got a decrease in rice production, wheat production. Corn isn't going to make up for all of this. And world food prices are, as one of those reports stated, at record highs. Record highs for food production, which means that even if you're producing food, a large part of the global population cannot afford it. And then there's even the question if, Russia said that they will export fertilizer to Africa for free. Not just transport. They will give the fertilizer to Africa and sell their grain at a much lower price to Africa to ensure that the highest at-risk populations actually have food. There's a concept for you. Something that Americans and Europeans aren't going to understand. Russia has done things like this before. When Venezuela had food problems, they were shipping hundreds of millions of tons of grain to Venezuela, which got seized by America en route. Yes, that actually happened. I think it was 800 million tons that they seized a few years back, 3 or 4 years ago, to starve the Venezuelan population. And right now, they're stopping Russian grain from reaching Africa, again, impacting the most poverty-stricken countries on the planet. What do you think of this? Let me know in the comments. All of this for warfare? What's next? Wait. Who else gets to starve? People in our own country are food insecure, suffering malnutrition, with food banks getting a fraction of what they got last year. This is not acceptable by any means. I don't care how much of a capitalist you are. I don't care how much of a warmonger you are. These other countries aren't even involved in this. All right. Again, tell me what you think in the comments. And share this video. Talk about these subjects. If you can afford it, then please donate whatever you can to help expand this channel and my presidential campaign. And I will catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching.